Hi, folks. Welcome. I'm even afraid to say happy Saturday in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. I know it's super late. My goodness, it's like 3:18 a.m. in California. You know what's funny is that I've been sitting on the couch for literally for the past hour and a half and thinking, how am I going to share this message? It's been on my mind all day. It's been sitting on my mind all day, and it's obviously my fault, you know. But I want to share a couple thoughts with you, and I'm sitting on the couch just chilling. Here's one way you can lose somebody's trust real quick, right? And, you know, we're going to, like I said, I've been sitting here for an hour and a half thinking, like, how am I going to put this together? I wanted to do it freestyle, no notes, but I wanted to do freestyle. But so there are people that come in and out of our lives all the time, right? I've talked about this before where I've said we meet people for a season and a reason, right? So people come in and out of our lives all the time. And some stay longer, some stay not so long. And then there's thoughts and messages and conversations that are, said and take place between the parties, and people go their route or their own way, and things move on. Now here's a couple thoughts I have. Now I did a really good live on this just a couple years ago, but I might do it again. But it's very I hesitate to use the word disappointing, because as you know, maybe my thoughts on disappointment is that it's expectation driven. So when you if you have any type of expectation, it doesn't matter. Any type of expectation will normally lead to disappointment. You're just going to be disappointed. So might as well not have any expectations. But then there's other situations where you share some thoughts, you share some maybe even secrets with some people, and maybe they're like passerbys in your life, or maybe there's somebody that they're in your life and they've been in your life, and they're gonna stay in your life, right? That stuff does not matter. What matters is this: if there are things that are said between the parties and they were meant to be kept between those parties, you don't get a pass to come out and reveal those just because. You don't get that pass, right? Because when you, like, for example, I'm going to share this with you. Let's say, for example, you sit down and you're talking to your best friend, right? You're talking to your best friend about just some deep stuff, right? And it's just between you and him, let's say. And you really don't want this stuff to get out. It's just between you and him. And just kind of, you're pouring your heart out, let's just say. Whatever it may be, right? And let's say a couple of days after, a month after, 2 years after, however long, you hear it from somebody else. That same thing. How disappointed are you? Pretty disappointed, right? It's like, wait a minute, why would my friend tell you this stuff? This stuff was between me and him. that disappointment, because you still have an expectation, right? You're having an expectation for this person not to say anything, and well, they go and say stuff, right? So even that expectation, even at that point, you have some sort of expectation that results in that disappointment. I guess got to be careful what you say to who. You never know. You never know. People change. People move on. Things change. It's very different. You know, it's kind of a sad situation where you really don't know whom you can kind of give more trust to. You know what I mean? It's kind of, you never know. Like, for example, I'll give you this example. A friend of mine, 17 years of friendship, best friend, all this stuff. Get into business together, it's over. It's over, right? So you never know. Never know. So what my point is that it's kind of scary, you know, because you never know. Sometimes you like I said, you share some stuff with somebody and you never think, well, you're thinking, well, this is my best friend, I'm just gonna share my stuff, right? And boom, not cool. So thought of the day, here's my thought. Listen, if somebody's sharing something with you, I've said this before, you can't leak. That's the whole thing. That's the point. You can't leak. When somebody asks you not to say, when you know somebody doesn't want that subject or that conversation to get out, when you know that, you can't leak. That's not cool and not right. So you can't leak no. So the thought of the day is this: just be careful. One, you as somebody who doesn't like your secret to get out, or your thought get out, your feelings to get out, be careful who you share it with. Again, you never know, right? Because in the beginning you're like, everything was great and this and this and this, and boom, I get it. And then you as somebody who's on the other side, I'm asking you to be more careful and more treat people's conversations, feelings, thoughts more precious, right? Not so, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to go tell Joe, Jill, Jack, and Jim, you know. No. Keep it in. Keep it in. And here's the thing, that relationship will grow as a result of that. See, this relationship, dead. Why? Because I told you one thing and then you went and told everybody. It's like, why would I trust you again? Why would I tell you anything again? Right? So you want to be that person, right? You want to be that person that people come and talk to and they know for a fact that you're not going to share their stuff. You want to look, I'll give you this. I've talked about this before. So many of you have shared your personal stories with me, like personal stories, via chat, text, phone calls, right? But you would never, ever would get me to talk about somebody else's stuff. It's just not the way I do things, right? So I hope this message finds a home within your heart, you know, because this is really important. I think we don't pay enough attention to it. You know, we just kind of so loose with people's stories and information and things of that, and we don't really pay attention to that stuff until it becomes our own, and then we're all over it. We're all over it then, but before then, when other people were careless. I'm asking you not to be careless. I'm asking you to be very careful, right? So hopefully you got some love, some inspiration, some value. Sorry, so late. I'll make it up to you. And yeah, drop your thoughts, your comments below. Let this feed grow. I appreciate you guys. And until tomorrow, when we do it all over again, much love.